Hello guys, today we'll be solving Cambridge Biology Paper 1 Multiple Choice Core Syllabus October-November 20 Paper 12. Which process is carried out by all organism? We know that all organism must grow, so option A is the correct answer. According to the binomial system, how should a human be named? Well, we know that according to binomial system, the humans have the name Homo sapiens. So the first part should be Homo, but the second part should be sapiens with smaller letter. The first part would be Homo with the uppercase letter. So option B is correct. Some of the structures found in cells are listed. Cytoplasm, cell membrane, cell wall, chloroplast. How many of these structures are found in cells of all living organisms? Well, we know that all living organism does not contain cell wall, neither does it contain chloroplast, but all living cells, all living organism and their cells contain cytoplasm and cell membrane. So option B is correct. The photomicrograph shows a cell from a type of aquatic plant. Okay, which parts labeled on the photomicrograph indicate that this is a plant cell? We can see S is chloroplast and Q is cell wall. So Q and S indicates that this is a plant cell. Which type of cell transports oxygen? We know red blood cells are specialized cells to transport oxygen because they contain hemoglobin. So option D is correct. The cell shown in the diagram has been magnified 3000 times. The diagram is 21 millimeter wide. What is the actual diameter of the cell? In order to find out magnification, we do magnification is equals to image divided by actual. Since we are finding actual, so it's gonna be image divided by magnification. The image is 21 millimeter wide. So divided by the magnification, which is 3000. So option B is the correct answer. What are the features of osmosis? We know osmosis is the movement of water from a region of high water potential to region of low water potential. So definitely diffusion is involved. It does not require cell wall, so cross for cell wall. Requires a partially permeable membrane, yes. So option A is the correct answer. The diagram shows apparatus which can be used to demonstrate osmosis. We have glass tube 1 with very concentrated sucrose solution, and we have glass tube 2 with concentrated sucrose solution. Both of the glass tube contains partially permeable membrane. After 1 hour, what would happen to the liquid levels in the glass tube? Since they contain a partially permeable membrane which won't allow sucrose to get out, so water will move into the partially permeable membrane, and as a result liquid level in glass tube will rise. Liquid level in glass tube 2 will also rise. So option D is the correct answer. Which substances are made by linking glucose molecules together only? Okay, by linking glucose molecule we can make cellulose, glycogen, starch. We cannot make fat, protein or oils. So option A is the correct answer. The graph shows the effect of pH on the rate of reaction of an enzyme. We can see the enzyme has the best rate of reaction at pH 7. What does the graph show? The enzyme is destroyed at pH 9. Well, the enzyme still has some amount of rate of reaction at pH 9, so it is not destroyed. The enzyme works best at pH 6. We can see at pH 7 it has the highest rate of reaction, so also a wrong statement. The rate of reaction halves as pH changes from 5 to 7. We can see the rate of reaction is actually increasing as the pH increases from 5 to 7, so also a wrong statement. The rate of reaction is the same at pH 5 and 8.5. So at pH 5 the rate of reaction can be comparable to rate of reaction at pH 8.5. So this is a correct statement. Option D is the correct answer. What kind of molecule is an enzyme? We know enzyme is a protein molecule, so protein. Option C is the correct answer. The diagram shows a cell with groups of bacteria around its edges, spiral shaped chloroplast, cell cytoplasm, and bacteria. The bacteria move to areas of high oxygen concentration. Which process in the cell causes the bacteria to form these groups? All right, so we know photosynthesis is responsible for producing oxygen as a byproduct. So definitely photosynthesis would be the cause why the bacteria has clustered near the chloroplasts. The graph shows how the percentage of protein found in potatoes are affected by the concentration of nitrate fertilizer added to the crop when it is growing. So concentration of nitrate fertilizer that is added and percentage of protein in potatoes. As we can see, as the concentration of nitrate fertilizer added increases, then percentage of protein in potatoes also increases. These results suggest that greater concentration of nitrate fertilizer allow the potatoes to make more. Well, protein is made from amino acid and nitrate is directly correlated to amino acid. So amino acid will be the correct answer. Cellulose, lipid, starch does not require nitrate for producing them. Which stage of nutrition takes place when food molecules become part of body cells? We know that when food molecule becomes part of body cells, it is defined as assimilation. So option B is the correct answer. The diagram shows the apparatus used in an experiment to demonstrate two processes that take place in the body. The dialysis tubing ends tightly sealed, so nothing can leak out. We have pure water in the test tube, dialysis tubing which is partially permeable, and mixture of saliva and starch. We know saliva contains amylase, salivary amylase, and amylase has the ability to digest starch. After 1 hour, the water outside the dialysis tubing contained reducing sugar. Which two processes are represented by this experiment? So definitely starch is being digested. All right, so digestion is taking place. All right, and because we can find out the reducing sugar, all right, we can find out the simple reducing sugar, they are leaking into the surrounding water, so it's going from a region of high concentration to low concentration. Definitely represents absorption. So option A is the correct option. Which type of organism causes tooth decay? All right, arachnid is basically spider. Bacterium causes tooth decay, so option B. In which order does water pass through the structure in a plant? Mesophyll to root hair. Water cannot pass from mesophyll to root hair, so mesophyll in option, any options would be wrong. Water cannot go from root hair directly to mesophyll, so also wrong. Water can go from root hair to xylem and from xylem to mesophyll, so option D is correct. What is a function of phloem? Well, phloem transports minerals to the roots. No. All right, phloem transports starch to the roots. Well, starch cannot be transported. Transport sugar to the roots? Yes. Phloem transport water to the roots? No. Roots absorb water by themselves. So transport sugar to the roots is the correct option, C. What ensures the blood flow in one direction in human circulatory system? Well, blood flow in one direction can be maintained using valves. So definitely valves is the correct answer. Some function of blood are listed: antibody production, blood clotting, oxygen transport, phagocytosis. What are the function of white blood cell? White blood cell is definitely going to produce antibody. So option C and D is already wrong. And white blood cell is not responsible for blood clotting, neither responsible for oxygen transport. So phagocytosis is one of the function of white blood cell. So option B is the correct answer. Which is an example of transmissible disease? Coronary heart disease due to eating high-fat food cannot be transmitted from one person to another, but cholera after drinking contaminated water can be transmitted from one person to another because it is caused by bacteria, and the bacteria can be transmitted through contaminated food, water, and drinks. Liver damage due to drinking alcohol cannot be transmitted. Lung cancer cannot be transmitted from one person to another. So 21B. The diagram shows some of the structures in human lung. Where is the carbon dioxide concentration highest? We know that carbon dioxide concentration will be highest from the blood that is entering the lungs, and blood entering the lungs comes from pulmonary artery. So option B will be correct. What is produced during anaerobic respiration in muscle? Anaerobic respiration in muscle produces lactic acid from glucose. So option C correct. The amount of urea in blood increases as it passes through organ X. What is organ X? We know that amount of urea increases when it passes through liver, because liver does the process called deamination, which produces urea. Deamination, and that leads to production of urea. So liver will be the correct answer. Option C. Which structure contains relay neurons? Relay neurons are found in spinal cord. So option C will be the correct answer. A man injures his arm in an accident. Afterward, he can move his hand but cannot feel object touching his hand. What could cause this? Well, the man cannot feel any object, so sensory neuron is cut. Sensory neuron is cut. But the man can move his hand, so motor neuron is intact. So both sensory and motor neurons are cut? No. Effectors are damaged? No. Motor neurons are cut? No. Motor neurons are not cut. Sensory neurons are the ones that are cut. So 26D. What are the effects of adrenaline in human body? Breathing rate. Well, adrenaline causes breathing rate to increase. Pulse rate. Adrenaline causes pulse rate to increase as well. And size of the pupil, adrenaline causes size of the pupil to increase. So option D is correct. Which is the correct definition of a drug? We know a drug is a substance that affects or modifies chemical reactions in the body. Option A is correct. Option B, a substance that can have negative social implication. Well, not all drugs have negative social implication. Many of them are useful. A substance that can affect reaction time and self-control. Not all drugs can affect reaction time or self-control. A substance that can kill bacteria. Not all drugs are made for killing bacteria. So option B, C, D are wrong. Question number 29. The diagram shows a flower cut in half. Which structure receives the pollen nucleus during fertilization? So first of all, A is stigma, B is anther, C is filament, and D is ovule. So during fertilization, ovule will receive the pollen. During childbirth, what must happen to the amniotic sac, cervix, and the uterus wall? The amniotic sac definitely needs to break in order for the baby to come out. The cervix must dilate and the uterus wall must contract to allow to push the baby out. So 30, option B. What is a barrier method for birth control? Contraceptive pill are chemical methods. Diaphragm is a barrier method. Contraceptive implants are also chemical method. Vasectomy is a physical method where the tube supplying the sperm are cut. So 31B. Which is a correct description of mitosis? We know that mitosis produces genetically identical cell. So mitosis, it produces genetically identical cells called gametes. No, gametes are not genetically identical. It produces genetically identical cells for growth and repair. Yes. It produces genetically different. No, it does not produce genetically different cells. Option B is correct. Which term is used to describe alleles that are always expressed when they are present in the genotype? When a particular allele which is present in the genotype and is always expressed, it is called dominant. So option A is correct. Some human phenotypes are listed. Body mass, food size, height, sex. Which features are example of continuous variation? Continuous variation must be caused by the environment and by the genetics. So body mass is one of those. So body mass, option D is the way wrong. Foot size and height, all of this depends on environment and genetics. So sex is determined by genetics only. So option A is correct. A food chain is shown: potato plant, slug, hedgehog. By which process is energy transferred from the slug to the hedgehog? Well, when the slug is eaten by the hedgehog, the hedgehog gets energy. So, egestion, no. Excretion, no. Ingestion, yes. Photosynthesis, no. Hedgehog is an animal, so will not be doing photosynthesis. So, option C correct. The diagram shows a food web. Energy from sunlight, organism age, it must be a producer. Organism J, primary consumer. Organism L is primary and secondary consumer, and then organism K, which is also okay. So organism L is also tertiary consumer. What is organism L? Since the organism L is, it is consuming from all different levels, so must be a decomposer. A decomposer decomposes organism from all different levels. So decomposer. The diagram shows part of the carbon cycle. What do arrows X and Y represent? Plants. Carbon dioxide. X is respiration. And Y from plants to animal, thereby feeding or nutrition. So arrows X and Y. Now X is respiration and Y is feeding. So D is correct. What can be used to reduce competition between crop plants and weeds? Crop plants and weeds. Weeds, we must apply herbicides. Herbicides will kill the weeds. Large areas of forest are cut down in order to clear the land for other uses. If the land is not replanted with trees or crops, what effect does this have on the atmosphere? All right. So, because if we do not replant with trees, then carbon dioxide will not be absorbed. So, carbon dioxide concentration will definitely not remain the same. It will increase. Oxygen concentration will decrease. Water vapor may decrease or increase. So B, carbon dioxide will definitely increase. 39B is the correct answer. The diagram shows 4 positions on the river where water samples are taken. Which graph show oxygen concentration in the river? Untreated sewage outlet. We can see at Y and Z point we will have low concentration of oxygen because of the aerobic bacteria breaking down the sewage. So at point Y and Z, concentration of oxygen will definitely decrease. But up until X, the concentration of oxygen must be really high. So C is the correct answer. Guys, thank you for joining the class. And if you like the video, and then please comment on the video on what kind of video you want us to make, and like the video and subscribe and share it with your friends.